In this lesson, we talk about variable expressions. Often we'll discuss a quantity without knowing its exact value. For example, next year's inflation rate, the price of gasoline next summer, or the interest rate on a new car loan next fall. In math, a letter of the alphabet is used to stand for a quantity that is unknown or that can change or vary. This letter is called a variable. An expression that contains one or more variables is called a variable expression. For example, 3x plus 5. This is a variable expression. This letter x is called a variable, and it can present anything. Another example would be 2a plus 3b minus 7. This is another variable expression. This is a very famous one, which we will study later, mx plus b. So, the letters of alphabet that you see in algebra are called variables. I want to introduce two more terms to you. Any number who's being multiplied into a variable is called a coefficient. Here, 3 is the coefficient to variable x. We have 2a plus 3b minus 7. 2 is a coefficient. A is the variable. 3 is the coefficient. B is the variable. How about 7? 7 is just a number. It does not have a variable attached to it, so it is called a constant. Over here, we have two variables, m and x, and b. Most of the time, if this is the variable which is changing, and these two represent constant numbers, they're replacing the coefficients. That is a little bit confusing. Let's just stick to the ones on top. A and b are the variables, 2 and 3 are the coefficients, and -7 is the constant. What we're gonna do sometimes is that we want to evaluate the algebraic expressions or the variable expressions for a specific value. Replacing each variable with a number and then evaluating the resulting numerical expression is called evaluating a variable expression. For example, in this variable expression, if I replace x with 1, what are we going to get? So, if I want to evaluate 3x plus 5 for x being 1, this is how I evaluate it. I say 3 times 1 plus 5. 3 plus 5, which is simply 8. I evaluated this expression for x equals to 1. I can evaluate it again if x is -7. If x is -7, then 3x plus 5 is going to be 3. Wherever we see the x, we're going to replace it with -7. Then plus 5. It's going to be, let's use bed math. 3 times -7, -21 plus 5. And the answer is going to be -21 plus 5. You have lost $21. You find $5. You're still at -16. I'll do a video on how to add integers as well. Let's do one more example. How about if we evaluate 6a minus 5b A is -3 and B is 4. How many variables do you see? 2. We're going to replace them. 6 times -3 minus 5 times 4. Order of operations, multiplications first. 6 times -3, -18. -5 times -4, -20. And the answer is -38. You lose $18, you lose another 20, says -38. You're playing a game, you lose 18 points, you lose another 20, so the result is -38. This is how we evaluate expressions.